Now time for some business. And tax evasion and illicit financial flow cost Ghana over $500 million in lost revenues every year. That's according to the technical experts on exchange of information at the African Tax Administration Forum, RC Tablanche. Speaking to Joy Business at the sidelines of the First African Tax Administration Forum's ATAF consultative meeting of African Competent Authority, TC Tablanche said building capacity of tax authorities to detect and prevent such illicit practice makes economies competitive in the international market.
When you look at the Global Financial Integrity Report, which they produce on an annual basis, when we look at the average illicit financial flow in total from African countries, we talk about $1 trillion over a period of about 10 years, and it's many jurisdictions on average loses between 500 million and $1 billion per annum in terms of illicit financial flows. It is extremely important to curb the illicit financial flows, because if you look at the greater scheme of your gross domestic product for a country, even if a jurisdiction is able to curb the illicit financial flows by about 10%, it really makes a significant contribution to the revenue administration, to the revenue collection, eventually to the state, in order to assist them to become more sufficient, more self-sufficient. Also, in order to utilize the money effectively, when we look at public schools, if you look at healthcare, that money is really extremely important for a jurisdiction in order to become competitive in the international market. It is extremely important for revenue administrations to implement exchange of information offices in the revenue administrations. The absence of an exchange of information office really curtails the progress that any revenue administration would like to make in terms of aspects around transfer pricing, aspects around illicit financial flows, because the exchange of information program allows the revenue administrations to enter into agreements with other jurisdictions in order to obtain the relevant information that can help them to identify illicit financial flows. In the absence of the exchange of information office, the revenue administration is just hampered by the inability to obtain information, and they really need to have this particular program in place in order to curtail illicit financial flows.
The program organized by the Ghana Revenue Authority hopes to assist African countries to mobilize domestic resources and build capacity for tax authorities to check incidents of tax evasion. An institutional development specialist, Elizabeth Storbuck, spoke about the rationale behind the consultative meeting of African Competent Authority in Ghana.
As part of the G20 development for the GDP goals, they've identified that BEPS is one of the most important programs for global development, and this is one program that's also very close to the African continent. And in line with transfer pricing and also illicit financial flows, in order to assist African countries to mobilize their own domestic resources, exchange of information has been marked as one of the most important programs for the African Tax Administration Forum to focus on. The program is a 3-year program, and within that we provide technical assistance through our expert facilitators, Mr. Tablanche and Mr. Uhl, in order to upskill and also create awareness for exchange of information in the revenue administrations, and for each administration to effectively exchange information and to build up a stable and sustainable Office of the Competent Authority.
So that will be it for the midday business. There's more business coming to you between 1 and 1:30 on the marketplace. My name is John Kojo Amwako. Coming up next is your sports.